sort of say thank you and just talk baseball, maybe make up for everything that we missed. What's going on with the Blue Jays? Spring training has started, so everything is on its way. So hopefully we're going to get live now, no more glitches. I see comments coming up now, so thanks for that. I don't know why. Sometimes it's just glitchy when you're doing these live streams, I guess. Maybe it's just me. I was just saying, thanking everybody, just feeling a bit better. So if I'm a little stuffy tonight, just getting a little bit back from being under the weather. But I'm glad to be live so we can talk baseball. Spring training is off and running. Glad to see Ryu on the mound. I had this big fear, and I was watching Major League Baseball, tonight earlier in the week, and they were all concerned about Ryu not starting, and they were like, is he having discomfort in his shoulder again? And I made a post on that, and I felt bad because it was almost like me trying to predict it, and then he came out and he pitched today. So knock on wood, I think he was just waiting to do that start. Maybe it's just the fact that he's a little bit older, and he just needed that little bit of time, just to get flexible and start up for spring training. Even Clayton Kershaw said, it gets a little bit tougher each and every year. Pardon me 1 second, just going to let my puppy out. Obviously, there's my interruption for the night already. I have a bulldog pug. So he is out. And we're going to talk baseball. First question, Jake Odorizzi. Yeah, rumors are heating up now. I think he's going to sign before the weekend is out. That is my expectation. I'm surprised he hasn't signed already. Finally got Jackie Bradley Jr. off the board, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But it's looking tough for the Jays. And I was just talking before my pug interrupted me about Ryu. And what I was talking about Ryu there specifically was him starting a little bit later. I'm glad he didn't have any shoulder discomfort. It's something that happened to him 3 years ago in Los Angeles, so that was my big concern there. And that was just him starting late. So he went out, he pitched today, and spring training pitching, there's not a lot that you can look into it. Really, it's just about them getting healthy, them stretching out, them getting ready to start. So him on the mound is a great thing. However, we do not have Nate Pearson now, and that's a big thing. Sorry, I'm going to close my door and shut down on this noise. I apologize for this horrible live stream tonight. There we go. Back. No more interruptions. So yes, as I said, Nate Pearson, unfortunately, is shut down now. They said it's a very minor grade 1 groin strain. I say 4 weeks minimum. And they say with any type of groin strain, even on the minimum side, it's usually 4 to 6 weeks recovery. So that makes me a little bit concerned there. The Jays have said, it's very mild. They're going to take it day by day. But with Nate Pearson, two things that aren't going to happen. If he has any type of injury, they're not going to rush him back. He's too valuable. He's too young. And secondly, just seeing this come up already in spring training is a little bit concerning. And I said this in my vlog earlier. Why is it concerning? Well, the Blue Jays have put so much emphasis on Nate Pearson having to pitch like a number 2. Because at the moment, Nate Pearson is the second best pitcher on the Jays rotation. And that's very frustrating for me when they go out and they add people like Kirby Yates, Marcus Semien, especially Marcus Semien, because that seemed to me like a signing that, I'm not saying was unnecessary. We had a third base deficit. But signing him for $18 million felt like, okay, the Jays are really having that push this year. They're going to try to get to the postseason. Where's the starting rotation? Where's that pitcher that we're going to trade for or sign? And it just didn't happen. And to me, that was extremely frustrating. So now they've put all this emphasis on Nate being the second best pitcher, and he's already going to be missing starts. Now, I guess the silver lining to this is we expected Nate Pearson not to pitch a full season anyways. 150 innings, 25 starts. So maybe this will, the 6 weeks that he's out, maybe he misses 5-6 starts there, and that makes up for those 5 to 7 starts that he was going to miss anyways. That's my point. But it's very concerning because if this is any type of lagging injury, anything that goes into the season, the Jays are in deep trouble. So, it goes back to the first question tonight. Jake Odorizzi to sign. I think the Jays might be a little bit more desperate. Somebody said, yeah, Tommy, he's going to Houston. And it's going to be Houston and the Jays now battling it out. I'm very surprised that the Angels are not being more aggressive in this conversation, but I guess they're just content. And they're going to see what happens. I still say they're a wild card to make the playoffs. And I think that's going to happen for the Angels. I don't think they're going to go deep, but they're going to make it nonetheless. So it comes down to Houston or Toronto. And if Toronto's going to get the deal done, they're going to have to ante up. They're going to have to give him that third year. Jay's adding another year to big contracts. I'm not saying he's getting a big contract, but it's not going to be small. It's just something that Jays seem to have to do to land these free agents. So I'm saying 3 years, $45 million. However, maybe Houston gets creative and offers him a 4-year deal, or maybe a 3rd-year deal with a player buyout, something just a little bit more juicy. And I think that could happen as well. Tommy could very well be right. So I think it's going to be 50-50 there. Flip of a coin. And if the Jays miss out on Jake Odorizzi and it's by a couple $1 million, I'm going to start to get very frustrated. James Paxton signed for $10 million. It just seems like missed opportunity after opportunity. Jake Odorizzi is sort of like the last man standing, the lesser of the evils. There were certainly better options. The Jays just didn't do it, so now they're kind of stuck with him. So it's going to be, see what happens. 2 years, 26, that's what he's worth. So if he gets that 3rd year, I think it's out of desperation. And that's what he's waiting on. He's waiting on that 3rd year, $45 million. And it's interesting. I say, 2 years. I wonder if it might be a 2-year with a 3rd-year player option that tops out around $32 million. But whatever team signs Jake Odorizzi now, they said it's going to be a team that has a starter that gets injured. That's what's happened with the Jays now with Nate Pearson. Hopefully it's not horrific, but maybe the Jays. And the Jays miss out, they're in big trouble because they're not going to be able to make any type of decent trade now until July. And by the time you're getting into the All-Star break, you're usually around 80 to 90 games played in the season. You're above 50% sometimes. So if you're looking at it like that, and the Jays have dug themselves too deep of a hole, I think it's going to be very disconcerting for Jays fans. And it'll be interesting to see. One of the things that I've been trying to research, and I don't have an answer for, and I suspect it's no. And the question is, does Marcus Semien have a no-trade clause in his contract? And if the Jays are tanking, is it Marcus Semien the first person that goes? That'd be really interesting. Maybe followed by Kirby Yates. And I'm not saying the Jays are going to be sellers right off the hop, but if they're too deep, these are the players who are probably going to go because they're on 1-year deals. And if they're playing up the snuff, it's just going to be a missed opportunity. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens with the Jays. Now, we had Robbie Ray come out. He's actually pitched not too bad. And I was trying to get the stats on Ryu today, but I didn't get them. I do know one of the things that I go, but it's still spring training. Robbie Ray, he pitched 50 pitches in his last outing, 26 strikes, 24 balls. Out of those 24 balls, though, 12 of them should have been strikes. Now, maybe I'm just looking into things too early. Spring training. I hope I am, and I hope I'm wrong. But this is my biggest fear about Robbie Ray and the Toronto Blue Jays. It's him having that walk percentage up around 20%, him having that ERA above 5, and I don't want to see the Blue Jays turn into some weird version of the early year Yankees where they had to bat their ways to wins. And that's what I could see happening for the first few months. Almost like minor league baseball. So we'll just have to wait and see. Jackie Bradley Jr., I don't think he got the deal he wanted. I'm really surprised. He wanted that $50 million. He got 24, so less than half. Now the Brewers, I think they're going to get a steal with him. One of the things that I liked about Jackie Bradley Jr. is you weren't really paying for his offensive numbers to begin with. You're paying for him defensively, and he's awesome in center field. He's one of the best defensive players you could actually place in center field. He's kind of like Kevin Pillar 2.0. And what do I mean about that? Well, one of the things that I loved about Kevin Pillar, Superman, you could throw him in the field, he's going to cover everything. Jackie Bradley's very much the same way, except Jackie Bradley has a tendency to have years where he can actually really hit. Now, last year wasn't really one of those years. He had an okay year. The year before that, we'll wait and see. But I think the Brewers are going to get a steal. And that's why I always said, for me, if I was the Jays, I love George Springer. I'm not saying anything yay or nay. But I think the best sort of off-season steal that happened this year was JT Realmuto going to the Phillies. You don't get a catcher like that. The last catcher I see like that was kind of like Buster Posey maybe 4 years ago. Somebody who can not only provide that defensive ability behind the plate, but also can provide that offense. JT Realmuto is going to be a steal. And I always said the Jays should have, or at least if it was me, my preference, I guess, sign JT Realmuto, get Jackie Bradley Jr. for center field. Would it cost the same as George Springer? That would have been my thoughts, and then use Jano as trade bait to get us a starting pitcher like Joe Musgrove. And I think we could have got Joe Musgrove from the Pirates for Jano. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I thought. We'll have to just wait and see. And that was kind of to my vlog today, and that's one of the questions that I had, was we were talking about Rowdy Tellez, Nate Pearson, and Alejandro Kirk. And really, the question is, Rowdy Tellez, there's no question. He's going to be on the Jays lineup this year. He's going to be playing in the majors. He's got the bat to prove it. The question with Rowdy Tellez is, where do we play him? Or is he just our big bench bat that we call up in those situations where we need big hits? However, Nate Pearson, he's got to start the year up in the majors, not AAA. Well, I guess he's going to be starting it in AAA now. He's hurt, so he's going to have to go through the minors probably if he doesn't make the spring debut or the major league debut. I think is April 1st this year for the Jays. Might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty confident. So the question is to everybody watching, Alejandro Kirk, should he be in AAA or do we need his bat in the Jays lineup? And the reason why I was a little bit more pro about sending Alejandro Kirk down to AAA is I want to see Alejandro Kirk be more than just a bat. I want him to become the type of catcher that can build that rapport with the pitchers, that knows how to not just work with one pitcher, but 5 pitchers, knows how to do his research, knows how to get into that routine, learning how to frame pitches, learning how to get runners out. And the only way he's going to develop those skills is if he is the starting catcher. So, if we bring him up to the Jays, is he the backup to Jano? So does that mean that he's only getting 1 start every 5 days? Or maybe they do 2 for him and 3 for Danny Jansen? I'm not sure. But he's not getting those 4 starts that he would get in AAA. So, and yeah, and Reese McGuire's hot garbage. No, don't even get me started on McGuire. Yeah, what a bust. So, yeah, that's the question. Who do you want in for that 5th day? Is it Alejandro Kirk? Is it Reese McGuire? Is there more value in having Kirk maybe in, let me get forward there so my lighting ain't bad. Having Kirk in AAA and bringing him up maybe in August or September? I don't know. One of the things that I'm very impressed about the Jays this year is their lineup. So it's not like Alejandro Kirk would be batting in the top 6, maybe even the top 7 of the Jays lineup. He certainly would be like a 7, 8, or 9. So that's why I leaned a little bit more about him going to AAA. And if we really let him start and we push Danny Jansen back to that backup role, I think if there was any chance for Jano to rebound and become that catcher that we really wanted him to be, both defensively and offensively, is going to be completely squashed because his confidence will go down to 0. So it's kind of delicate there. I'm curious to see what the Jays do in this situation, but I think ultimately we'll probably see him down in AAA. And I guess the same thing could be said for Rowdy Tellez. I mean, I guess it's going to come down to what they want to do with Vlady. I mean, Rowdy, if he's not on the DH, If he's not on the bench, then he's playing first base. So maybe it's those days where Vlady gets the odd start over at third. They say they're going to make him have a couple starts there just so he can feel good about the situation. Maybe those are the days that Vlady gets to play first, but I do want to see Vlady play first, or Tellez play first a little bit more, simply because I want to see him develop into an all-around player. I like Rowdy Tellez a lot. I'm big on him. I just don't want to see him be a DH. I just think he has more value. Another thing I wanted to say is, boy oh boy, not anything against the Jays. The Padres look good. I've been watching them in spring training. We knew they were going to be good. I mean, look at all the additions. They were obviously the winner of the offseason this year. But one of the players that I wish the Jays could have got, I guess we were second. It came down to weather, he said. Ha-Sung Kim. He's already smacking the ball, stealing bases, playing all the positions, everything you want in that player for less than $10 million annually. I think he's going to be a smash. I don't think he's going to have any problems going from Korea over to the major league level. And I think he's going to be another huge value and the biggest surprise for the Padres. And as I said, this guy, well, he doesn't play first very well, but he can first, second, shortstop, third base. Throw him anywhere. He's like Biggio or DJ LeMahieu. And I said he's going to be a huge steal for them this year. And I suspect he's going to hit 20 home runs and at least 20 stolen bases and hit close to 300. And if he does that, I think the Padres are going to give the Dodgers a run for their money. In fact, if I was betting right now, maybe I'm going to be wrong, I think the Padres are going to take the Dodgers this year. I do. I'm feeling a Padres-Chicago White Sox World Series this year. I know it's really early, but that's my picks. And if we want to talk, I guess we could talk, before we, close up. I said I'd go for a half hour tonight, so I won't go too much longer. But one of the things I wanted to say was postseason. How's it looking for the Blue Jays right now? Well, I think even with Nate Pearson being out for those 5 starts, it really hasn't affected the Jays, yay or nay. I think the Jays are going to be with a pack of teams fighting for that second spot in the wild card. That's just how I see it crumbling. So it's going to be how aggressive do the Jays get around midseason. And one of the things that I will say to the Blue Jays' benefit is the fact that they haven't hamstrung themselves to some of these large contracts. It's going to enable them to maybe make moves. Maybe they can afford to lose Lourdes. Not suggesting that, but he was a hot topic this offseason for trade talk. Maybe there's somebody in the minor league system they can move. So there's still potential for the Jays to certainly upgrade their rotation, upgrade their team, and go strong. But right now, for me, it looks like, in my opinion, I see it being the Yanks, the Angels, which I think is a surprise, but I will go that far, and the Chicago White Sox as the top 3 in the American League. That means that we're chasing the Minnesota Twins, who are obviously, in my opinion, going to get the first wild card spot. So we're stuck with Oakland, Tampa Bay, and ourselves. Those are the 3 teams that I see chasing for that last wild card spot. And it's going to be the Blue Jays and the Minnesota Twins fighting it out. Not sure what's going to happen there. Even if the Jays win that one, Nate Pearson will be shut down. Ryu's going to have to pitch the wild card if we don't have anybody else added to our lineup. It means Robbie Ray starting the first game of the playoffs. I'm chuckling as I say that. Yeah, hot garbage. That's what I say to that too. But that's how I see it crumbling. And I see something like the Yankees, Chicago White Sox battling it out to see who goes to the World Series. And the National League, though, I think is going to be really, really interesting. It is so competitive. There's so many good teams, from the Mets to the Braves to the Padres to the Dodgers. I mean, it goes on and on. So it's very interesting to see who's going to be there at the end. Even St. Louis, I mean, they've done some awesome upgrades and trades this year. But at the end of the day, I still see it being something like Atlanta and San Diego, or maybe Atlanta and the Dodgers. Let me know if I'm wrong, though. I guess we should be putting some money on Vegas here. So as I close up, I just wanted to let everybody know I'm back. I'm still a little stuffy, a little red-eyed, but I'm getting there. We're going to do a live stream this Sunday. I'm going to do it at 3 p.m. So we'll talk the spring training game. Should be kind of just ending at that point. Also going to do the draw for the Nate Pearson cameo. I know I was going to do that last week, so we'll do that this week. So bonus, I've extended the entry. So if you haven't entered yet, there's a vlog in my series of vlogs called Win Nate Pearson Cameo. All you have to do is answer the trivia question in the comments. Do that before Sunday at 3. You're entered. We'll draw somebody out of my hat. Winner gets a Nate Pearson cameo. I place the order with cameo, so I'm not sure how quickly he'll get to you. So I don't know that process, but that's something I hope you guys will share with me, or at least the winner will. All right, guys, I hope you all enjoy your Friday night. Have an awesome weekend. I'll see everybody Sunday. Stay safe, guys, and we'll talk soon. Thanks for tuning in for just quick bonus chat tonight. Sorry it was a little messy, too, at the beginning. You know, that's my dog for you. All right, bye, guys.